everyone. Welcome to English Verse. I'm Kate.
And I'm Duncan. If you're new here, welcome. English Verse is where we help you learn English through real conversations about real life. Today's topic, money.
Exactly. We're talking about saving, spending, and investing, but in simple, clear English that anyone can follow. So if you're practicing your English and want to learn how to make your money work for you, you're in the perfect place.
And don't worry, we'll explain every money word we use. No confusing jargon. Plus, I've got a confession coming up about a very dumb thing I did with my first paycheck. Spoiler, it involved a gaming chair I never used.
Oh, we're starting with vulnerability. I love it. All right, let's dive in.
Why even think about investing? Quick warm-up question, Kate. Why should someone even think about investing instead of just keeping cash in a savings account or, I don't know, under the mattress?
Great question. Two big reasons: inflation and opportunity. Let me explain inflation. It means prices go up slowly over time. For example, central banks, like the Federal Reserve in the US, aim for about 2% inflation each year. That means if you have $100 sitting idle, next year it only buys you about $98 worth of stuff in today's prices.
So inflation is like a tiny invisible hole in your wallet.
Exactly. And investing is one way to patch that hole and ideally grow what's inside the wallet.
Got it. So sitting still costs you, moving smart helps you. But hang on, what about savings accounts? Aren't they supposed to be the safe option?
They absolutely are safe, and they're perfect for short-term goals or emergency cash. The problem is many regular savings accounts pay very small interest rates. That's the money the bank pays you for keeping your money there. Often, this interest is way lower than inflation. So your money might grow a little, but it's losing buying power.
Buying power, that means how much stuff you can actually buy with your money, right?
Exactly. There are high-yield savings accounts. High yield means they pay better interest. But even those usually just keep pace with inflation, not beat it.
So savings accounts are like your rainy day umbrella, super important to have, but they're not going to help you build a house.
Perfect analogy. For growing wealth over years, we need to talk about investing. What is investing really? In the simplest terms, investing means buying something today that you hope will be worth more later or that pays you money along the way, like dividends from stocks or rent from property.
Dividends, that's when companies share their profits with people who own their stock. We'll explain stock in a minute.
Examples of investments: stocks, index funds, bonds, real estate, gold, even collectibles like vintage sneakers. But, and this is huge, each one behaves differently and comes with different risks.
Right. We're not going to pretend a stock and a savings bond are the same thing. They're not. Today, we're focusing on the beginner-friendly ones that everyday people can start with. So here's where people panic. Picking individual stocks. First, let's define that. A stock is a small piece of ownership in a company. If you buy Apple stock, you own a tiny piece of Apple.
But people worry, which company will go up, which will crash? It feels like gambling.
Which is exactly why most financial experts recommend index funds for beginners. Let me explain. An index fund is basically a basket of many companies. For example, the S&P 500. That's a famous index that tracks 500 of the biggest U.S. companies. When you buy into it, you're buying a tiny slice of all 500, not betting everything on just one.
And historically, broad U.S. stock indices like the S&P 500 have returned around 10% per year on average over the long term. Returned means earned or made. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results, obviously, but that long-term trend is why index investing is such a powerful tool.
In other words, you get to hitch a ride on 500 companies instead of trying to pick the one rocket ship.
And if one company crashes, you've got 499 others cushioning the fall. That's called diversification, spreading your risk.
Okay, but people always ask, why not just hire a professional fund manager to pick the winners for me? A fund manager is someone whose job is choosing which stocks to buy.
Two reasons: fees and reality. Fees are what you pay for the service. Active fund managers charge higher fees for their stock picking expertise. Over decades, even small fee differences add up to huge losses for you. And here's the kicker. Many studies show that most active managers don't actually beat the market consistently.
Beat the market means do better than the average. And there's even a famous example of this. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors alive, made a public bet that a simple low-cost index fund would outperform, do better than, a collection of expensive hedge funds over 10 years. The index fund won, and it wasn't even close.
Buffett himself has said multiple times that low-cost index funds are the best choice for most everyday investors. If the pros can't reliably beat the market, why pay them extra to try?
How much do you need to start? Here's the myth we need to destroy. You need thousands to start investing. Not true. Some apps let you start with $5, some let you buy fractional shares. That means instead of buying one full share of an expensive stock, you buy a small piece of it.
The real key is consistency and habit. Consistency means doing it regularly. It's not about dropping a huge lump sum once. It's about putting in a little every month and letting time do the heavy lifting.
Start with whatever you can, even $10 a week. The habit matters more than the amount at first.
For our English learners, notice we're using practical vocabulary here. Lump sum means one big payment. Heavy lifting means doing the hard work.
When should you start? And what to fix first? All right, so when should you start investing? The short answer, as early as you can. But, and this is critical, there are 3 things you should do before you invest a single dollar.
Safety checklist time. 1. Pay off high-interest debt first. Credit cards, payday loans, store financing. Interest is the extra money you pay to borrow. If you're paying 18% interest on a credit card, there's no investment on earth that'll reliably beat that. Kill the debt first.
2. Build an emergency fund. This is money you can actually touch, sitting in a regular savings account that covers 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Expenses means the money you need to spend each month. This is recommended by financial experts everywhere. The point is, if your car breaks down or you lose your job, you're not forced to sell your investments at the worst possible time.
And 3, only invest money you won't need for at least 3 to 5 years. Investments can dip, go down in the short term. You need time for them to recover, go back up, and grow.
Think of it as safety first, then growth. Okay, story time. And this is a real example of what not to do. When I got my first real paycheck, I thought, I'm an adult now, I should celebrate. So I bought a $400 gaming chair.
Oh no.
I used it maybe 3 times. It just sat there mocking me. Mocking means making fun of. If I'd taken even half that money and put it into an index fund, it'd be worth way more now. Instead, I have a lumpy chair I gave to my cousin.
This is the perfect example of lifestyle inflation. When your income goes up, your spending automatically goes up to match it. It feels good in the moment, but future you pays the price.
Exactly. Now, when I get a raise or a bonus, I automatically send a chunk of it to investing before I even see it. Out of sight, out of mind.
That's called paying yourself first. And it's one of the smartest money habits you can build. You treat savings and investing like a bill you have to pay. All right, let's make this super actionable. Actionable means you can actually do it. Here's a simple beginner plan. Step 1, make a tiny budget. A budget is a plan for your money. Doesn't need to be fancy. Just know your money in versus money out. A notebook works, an app works, whatever you'll actually use. Step 2, build a 1-month financial buffer in your savings account. Buffer means cushion or safety space. Then aim for 3 months of living expenses. If your job is unstable, grow it to 6 months. Step 3, pay off any high-interest debts. Credit cards, store loans, knock them out. Step 4, open a low-cost brokerage account or investing app. Brokerage is a company that lets you buy and sell investments. Look for ones with low or 0 fees and that let you buy index funds or ETFs. An ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. It's similar to an index fund. An S&P 500 index fund is a solid starting point for broad market exposure. Step 5, Automate a small monthly transfer, even $25 a month. Automate means set it up to happen automatically. Set it and forget it. Check in once or twice a year, but don't obsess over daily movements.
Automate it and let time work its magic. Seriously, automation removes the willpower battle. You don't have to remember or decide each month. It just happens.
Fees, diversification, and red flags. Two technical things that sound boring but will save you thousands. 1. Fees. Lower is always better long term. A fund charging 1% versus 0.1% might not sound like much, but over 30 years, that difference can cost you tens of thousands of dollars in lost growth.
2. Diversification. We mentioned this earlier. It means spreading your money across many investments. Don't put everything in one stock or one sector. Sector means industry, like technology or healthcare. Index funds give you instant diversification across hundreds of companies.
And a bonus red flag, that's a warning sign. If someone online is promising guaranteed returns, risk-free profits, or asks you to send them money to invest for you, run. That's a scam, a trick to steal your money. Real investing involves risk, and no legitimate advisor asks for your login credentials.
If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Period.
Common beginner mistakes. Let's talk mistakes because everyone makes them. Mistake 1, panic selling during a market drop. That means selling when prices go down because you're scared. You lock in losses, make them permanent, and miss the recovery when prices go back up. The market goes up and down, that's normal. Mistake 2, investing money you'll need soon. Then life happens, you're forced to sell at a loss, and you're stuck. Mistake 3, falling for flashy ads and unregulated platforms. Crypto, meme stocks, those are stocks that become popular because of internet jokes, hot tips from strangers. If you don't understand it, don't invest in it.
Also, checking your portfolio, that's your collection of investments, every single day. It's like checking if a plant grew overnight. You'll just stress yourself out.
Once a quarter, every 3 months is plenty. Set it, forget it, live your life. Quick, relatable example. If you buy a $5 takeaway coffee 5 days a week, that's about $1,300 a year.
Whoa.
I'm not saying cut all your coffee. I'm not a monster. But if you make coffee at home 2 or 3 days a week and automatically invest the savings into an index fund, that small habit compounds, grows bigger and bigger into something real over time.
Visual challenge for listeners. Try it for 1 month. Track what you would have spent, invest it instead, and see how it feels. Small wins build momentum. That means forward movement and motivation.
And for English learners, this is great practice. Writing comments in English helps you improve. And we're a friendly community here at Englishverse, so don't be shy. All right, if you've made it this far, here's your homework for the next week. And yes, we're calling it homework because we actually want you to do it. Task 1, write down one financial goal. Could be a vacation, a laptop, an emergency fund, just one thing. Task 2, open a separate savings account for your emergency fund if you don't have one already. Move a small amount every week, even $10 counts. Task 3, if you're debt-free or making progress, research one low-cost index fund. You don't have to buy yet, just look. Get familiar with the names, the fees, the platforms.
And if you want, drop a comment below this video. Tell us, what's your biggest money question? Or what English phrase from today was new for you? We read every comment and we'll answer the best ones in future videos.
All right, recap time. Recap means quick summary. Inflation slowly eats your buying power. Savings accounts are safe, but often low yield. Index funds give you broad market exposure and have historically delivered strong long-term returns. Pay off high-interest debt first, build an emergency fund, only invest money you won't need for years.
If money were a plant, a little water every month and some patience usually does the trick. And composting high-interest debt first is non-negotiable.
I love that you're sticking with the plant metaphor.
It works!
Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you found this helpful, both for your English and your money knowledge, please hit that like button and subscribe to English Verse. We make English simple, fun, and practical through real-life topics just like this one.
Next time, we might talk about job interviews, travel phrases, or ordering food like a local. We cover it all. Catch you next time. Same place, more practical English, and I promise fewer stories about my terrible furniture choices.
No promises on that. See you soon.
Bye, everyone.